Hello, welcome to this Wasabi demo on bucket moves. My name is Neil Simpkins. I'm the lead systems engineer for the UKI and Nordics and South Africa. So bucket moves, what are they? Well, we introduced them in 2024, and it's a way that our customers or partners can ask for buckets to be moved between different storage accounts. Why would you do this? Well, sometimes you'll have a customer who's got a standalone account and they want to move under a partner's Wacom. So we need to create a sub account in the partner's Wacom and move the buckets into it. We've had other customers who've ended up with multiple storage accounts and they want to merge them into one. So we pick one main account and then move all the buckets from the other accounts into that main account. Currently, it's ran by our SE team and support organization. So if you need buckets moved, you raise a support request to support@wasabi.com. Give as much information as you can, source account, target account, which buckets are required to be moved. And then once our support team's looked internally to make sure everything's okay, then it will get passed to the SE team to contact the customer to understand when they want the buckets moved. When we do move buckets, there is up to 15 minutes of downtime per bucket. So we coordinate with the customer to make sure that we're doing it at a time when there is like a maintenance window or, data can be stopped going to the buckets. So what we're going to do today is a demo. I've got a bucket set up, connected to a Veeam server, running a backup. And what we're going to do is set up a secondary account, set everything up in that account, so users, profiles, policies, whatever we need. And then we're going to move the bucket from one account to the other and then reconnect Veeam to make sure that all the backups can be completed. So what we'll do first of all is remove me, because nobody wants to see me. Well, some of you might do, if you're a bit odd. So there we go. Let's get rid of me. So we'll again move this and lose that. Yes, we'll save that. Goodbye. So there we go. I've got one account. So if we look at the settings of this account, it's neil@wasabi.com. So that's the account. I've got a bucket set up. The one we're going to use is NS bucket move. It's a Veeam backup bucket, so we can see Veeam's written some stuff in there. And if we go to our Veeam server, apologies if this is a little bit small for you, but if we go to our Veeam server, we'll see on the backup infrastructure, we've got a repository called bucket move 1, which is connected to that NS bucket move bucket. And then we've run a backup against that bucket move, which is this one here. We can see target bucket move 1, and we've successfully had some backups taken. So as I said, when we do a bucket move, we need to make sure that on the account that's going to get the bucket, the target account, that everything is set up ready to go, as in users and policies and access keys. So if we look at our source account, where the bucket currently is, we can see that the account that we're using is my Veeam service account. I've got a policy connected to that account called NS Veeam access no object lock. So we've got this bucket here just to tie down that bucket. And then we have the access keys assigned to that user here. So NS Veeam and the access keys that are currently the keys that are in Veeam. So I've got a secondary account here. So this account, just to show you, is neil@wasabi.com. So it's slightly different. There should only be a couple of buckets in here that I've been using for some other things. A games bucket, obviously, why wouldn't you? So what we're going to do, when I kick off the internal bucket move, we'll see it disappear from within this storage account, and it will arrive here, and then we can go ahead into Veeam, set the new access keys into Veeam, and then hopefully do a backup. So the first thing I'm going to do is recreate my user. So the user in here is ns-veeam. I'll use the same user in my target account. So ns-veeam, there we go. I don't need to give it console access, it only needs programmatic access. I haven't created any groups or policies yet, So I'm just going to go ahead and create that user. We can now take the secret and access keys because we are going to use them when we get round to Veeam later on. So I'm going to just take a copy of the keys to the clipboard, and off screen or on my other screen I will just paste those keys in so I can use them in a moment. There we go. Okay. So we've got our NS Veeam user ready to go. So now I'm going to create my policy. So again, let's go back to the original account, look at the policies. It was called NS Veeam Access No Object Lock. I can really call it what I want, but for ease of use, let's just go with the same thing. So I'll create the policy, and then I can just go ahead and take the policy I used, and then hopefully that will allow me to paste that policy into here. Policy is valid. Obviously that that bucket isn't there at the moment. It won't be there until we kick off the bucket move internally, but we can happily create that policy ready to use. And then we can go back to our user NS Veeam, and I'll go down to policies, and I will assign that policy, NS Veeam Access No Object Lock, to this user. We'll see it pop up down the bottom there. So that should now be ready to go. I've got my user. I've assigned my policy to lock it down to only access the one bucket that I wanted to access. And I've got my access keys for that user copied off screen, ready to go. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to show you the process, but I will kick off the bucket move internally, and that will then, we'll see the bucket disappear from this storage account and appear in my other account. So just off screen to you, I've got my internal system ready to move the bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and hit go now. So that should now move the bucket. So if I come to my source where I've got my current bucket and refresh, hopefully we should see that bucket is now disappeared. And if I go to my target account and look at my bucket, it's now appeared. Now it won't be ready to go yet, although that bucket is there. If I try to access it or do anything with it at the S3 layer, chances are that it will fail. So we've got to give it our 15 minutes. So it's 2:21 now. So I'll stop the recording now, and I will come back in 15 minutes, and we will go ahead and reconfigure Veeam with the new access keys from this storage account, and hopefully get a backup running. So now we've got our bucket safely in the target account. We'll go back to Veeam, backup infrastructure. I'm going to edit the properties of my bucket move location, and here I'm going to add in my new secret and access key, which should be this one. Don't bother writing these down, I will delete them after this video is made. That one. Okay, so we've now got our new credentials, still EU West 1, and if I hit go, it should check the object storage. And it should see the bucket again, because nothing's happened to the bucket. All we've done is move it between two different storage accounts. And I can go ahead and get to the end. Obviously, we'll wait for this bit to complete. Now that's complete, I can go ahead and finish that. We now should be pointing to the right, the bucket in the new target account. We'll go ahead and just kick off that backup, and then we should see that backup complete. So we can see there the backup job completed successfully, so we're all happy. So quick recap, what we did, we had a bucket in one account and we wanted to move the bucket to another account. So we went on to the secondary account, we set up all the right permissions and users and policies, and then on the back end I moved the bucket and we connected the new account to Veeam and successfully run a backup. So any of you that are thinking of bucket moves, hopefully that'll just give you some idea of what's involved. Thank you for watching.